Hello everyone, just a quick mention that I won't be diving into the open world syndicates and I'll only be touching on the main 6 for this guide. If you're interested in the others, just let me know in the comments and I'll get a guide as quickly as possible for those as well. So what are syndicates? The 6 main syndicates are faction groups that are all on their own terms with each other. I'll touch on that a bit later, but within these factions you can obtain things like Warframe augments, archering weapon parts, specters, cosmetics, unique weapons, and more. They are definitely worth ranking as soon as they become available. Each faction has its own stance toward the other factions. For example, Arbiters of Hexes do not like Red Veil at all, while they do like Cephalon Suda. These relationships between the factions means you'll be having to choose a very specific side. Each faction has an allied, opposed, and enemy faction associated with it. Allied receives 50% positive standing, so if I earn 150 standing with Perrin's sequence, I'll get 75 for New Loka. Opposed loses 50% of the earned standing with that faction, so if I earn 150 with Perrin, I'll lose 75 with Arbiters of Hexes. Finally, an enemy faction loses 100% of the standing you earned, so if I get 150 standing with Perrin, Steel Meridian loses 150. Because of all this, you'll only be able to have 3 factions at a time to be on good terms with, so if I pick Arbiters of Hexes, I'll be stuck with them and their ally, as well as the neutral faction that doesn't get negative standing from leveling them. So in order to unlock syndicates, you'll first need to be Master Rank 3. Once you're Master Rank 3, you'll have a daily standing limit of 17,500, which increases by 500 with every Mastery rank up. Because of this limit, you'll want to make sure you're getting your daily cap every day, otherwise you won't get very far. To start earning standing, head to the front of your ship, and to the left of navigation you'll see a Syndicate menu. Press X and the menu will appear. From here, you can choose a faction that you want to side with. Just click on the one you want, and it'll prompt you to go to them and start the initiation. If you want to go to them manually, just choose a relay and they'll be off to your left or right in the main room of the relay. As I mentioned earlier, depending on who you decide to side with will determine the rest of the factions you'll be forced with. After you've done the initiation, head to the arsenal and select Appearance for your Warframe. Then go to Sigils and find the sigil for the syndicate you started. You can have 2 sigils on at a time. Now, as you earn XP throughout a mission, you'll receive some standing for the syndicates. The more you rank up, the better the sigils you'll get. Additionally, you're given 3 missions for each faction every day that ignores the daily limit. In order to unlock the daily missions, you'll need to rank up at least once with each faction. Within these missions, you can find Syndicate Medallions. The Medallions also ignore daily cap when turned into at the respective faction vendor. There are 8 medallions per map, but sometimes certain maps don't spawn any at all, specifically on the smaller maps like interception and defense missions. So now I'll go over some builds to make finding these medallions easier. So the most important mods you can have is Thief's Wit, Animal Instinct, and Loot Detector. If you're just starting out, Thief's Wit will be your most common choice as it's the easiest to get. If you started doing nightmares every day, you will eventually get Animal Instinct, and Loot Detector is an aura mod from Nightwave. The reason why you want these mods is to be able to see the medallions on the map. The builds I'll be going over utilize these mods, as well as having the potential to break loot boxes through walls. I don't expect new players to have these frames or mods right away, but if you're in a position that you can get these frames, they're definitely worth the investment. So for the first build, we have a Zaku that is designed around maximizing range for his 4th ability. Basically, this allows us to hit through walls from 70 meters away to break a whole bunch of loot boxes at once. Once all the boxes are broken, most of the icons will disappear unless they have loot in them. Once you've collected all the loot, only the medallions will remain shown on the map. For the second build, we have a Limbo, which can do the same thing. It has less range than the Zaku, but is pretty easy to obtain. And that's pretty much all there is to syndicates. If you enjoyed the video or it helped in any way, please leave a like, and if you're looking forward to future content like this, subscribe and stay tuned. If I missed anything or you'd like to leave some feedback, leave it down in the comments. I appreciate all the support, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.